If I had to start my trades business again tomorrow from absolute scratch, but knowing everything I knew today, I'd do things a bit differently. I spent decades running a trades business, but I learned the hard way. And these are 6 things I'd do differently right from day one. Number 1, I'd build the business around the team and not around me. When you're starting out, naturally you do everything yourself. You're the best tradesman, or maybe the only tradesman, so you do the tricky jobs. You're the owner, so you do all the after-hours emergencies. The customers are probably calling you direct. You're doing the quotes, you order the materials, you solve the problems and deal with any staff. And that's okay in the beginning. But if you keep doing that as the business grows, then you've created a job for yourself rather than a business. And if I started again, I'd be consciously creating a team culture in the business. I'd have weekly team meetings right from the beginning, because if they're done right, regular team meetings can be one of the best ways to build a positive culture and lock in good workers who want to stay in your business. I'd spend much more time developing the people, giving them responsibility and teaching them how to make decisions, because the real measure of a successful trades business isn't how much the owner can do, it's how little the owner needs to do. Number 2, I put systems in place much earlier. When you're small, systems might seem unnecessary. You think, well, why do I need a procedure for that? I'll just tell the boys what to do. And maybe that's fine when there's only 3 people in the business. But as things grow, you've got more employees, more customers, more jobs, more things going on. And suddenly you're the bottleneck because you're answering the same questions over and over again. So I'd document the right way to deal with every critical aspect of the business, and I'd get everyone in the habit of helping to create procedures and then following those procedures. And this would apply from right when our first customer inquiry through the quoting process, scheduling, invoicing, all communications within the business and with the clients. I'd make it as clear as possible in each case what was expected and then explain why it was necessary. And I'd get good job management software, something that's easy to use and makes life easier for your office staff and tradies in the field. Number 3, I'd be much more selective about the clients and the work that I took on. Now, this one took me a long time to learn. When you're building a business, you feel like you have to say yes to everyone and every job. And if you've got employees standing around, then that's understandable. But eventually you realise something, that not all work is good work. Some customers take up an enormous amount of your time and your energy. Some jobs create endless problems. Some work looks profitable until you actually calculate what it costs you to deliver it. And some customers just aren't worth having. So if I started again, I'd get much clearer about who do we want to work for, what sort of work do we want to do, and most importantly, who should we say no to? And number 4, I'd focus more on profit than turnover. Trades businesses can be very deceptive. You can have a heap of employees, lots of vehicles, a massive amount of work with a huge turnover, and everybody thinks you've got a fantastic business. But if you're working like a slave and there's not much money left at the end of it, then all you've got is a very busy, average-paying job and not a great business. If I started again, I'd pay much more attention to the numbers that actually matter. I was pretty good with keeping up with the accounts because the first computerised accounting system we had in 1986 forced me to keep up to date. So it forced me into a good habit that I managed to maintain. And having up-to-date accounting info is essential if you want to be profitable. If something's not right with your pricing or costs, you want to know about it as soon as possible so you can correct it. And I wouldn't worry at all about what others were charging as an hourly rate. I'd be happy to be the most expensive electrician in town, and then I would target clients who were happy to pay that, and I'd look after them very well. I'd work out exactly what I needed to cover costs, allow for some contingencies, and add at least a 15% profit, maybe more, and then I'd look after those clients really well. I would definitely implement ideas from Mike Michalowicz's Profit First system. I started putting away money every day for profit and tax in 2016, and it was a game changer for my business. After that, we always had the cash ready to go for BAS and wages tax, and a steadily building profit account that we used to improve our lives. I think about how things could have been if I was doing that right from the start. And number 5, I would invest in business coaching. Like I said at the start of the video, I did things the hard way for a long time, and getting into a coaching program in 2011 definitely saved my business from disaster. The benefits are huge if you get the right coach. I joined a group coaching program focused on the construction industry, and I've made many valuable contacts and some great friends, and I've been exposed to ideas and concepts that turned my business from a chaotic nightmare to a well-oiled, profitable machine that gave me time freedom and very little stress. Number 6, I designed the business around the life that I wanted. And this is something I think a lot of business owners get backwards. We start a business because we're good at our trade, and then we get busy, so we employ someone. Then we get more work and we employ more people. Then we buy another vehicle or two and we take on bigger jobs. And before long, you're running a business that has completely taken over your life. And we tell ourselves we're doing it for the future. But really, eventually you have to ask, what is the future I'm actually building? So if I could go back to day one, I'd spend more time deciding what I wanted my life to look like. How much did I actually want to work? How much money did I want to earn? How much responsibility did I want? What did I want to be doing when I was 50, 60 or 70? And then I'd build the business around the answers to those questions, because the objective isn't to build the biggest trades business possible. It's to build a business that gives you the life you actually want. So if I had to rebuild my trades business from scratch, those are the 6 things I'd do differently. I'd build around the team. I'd systemize much earlier. I'd be selective about the work and customers that we took on. I'd focus on profit rather than turnover. I'd get a business coach, and I'd design the whole thing around the life I wanted at the end of it. Because after all those years, I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned, that your business is supposed to work for you. You shouldn't spend your entire life working for it. And if you're building a trades business right now, I'd encourage you to ask yourself one question. If I keep running this business exactly the way I'm doing it today, what will my life look like in 5 years' time? Because the answer might tell you more about your business than your profit and loss statement ever will. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a question about any aspect of running a trades business, send me an email using the link below. And as always, thank you very much for listening.